Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming today's speakers and the scholar advisors. Please join me in welcoming the WMU class of 2021.
Welcome to the Western Michigan University Homer Stryker M.D. School of Medicine Class of 2021 White Coat Ceremony. I'm Dr. Peter Zimkowski, Associate Dean for Student Affairs, and it's my privilege to be your host for today's ceremony. On behalf of Dean Hal Jensen, the Medical School Associate Deans, Assistant Deans, Department Chairs, and faculty, it's my honor to welcome you all and to thank you for joining us today. Also welcome to everyone out there following the events via live stream. Today's ceremony is all about the white coat, the most iconic symbol of the medical profession. In the middle of the 19th century, the medical profession turned to science to provide breakthrough advances in curing disease. At that time, physicians adopted the scientific lab coat as their standard. Originally, lab coats were beige, but when adopted by the medical profession, white was chosen. The color white, representing purity, is a visual reminder of the physician's commitment to do no harm. The white coat symbolizes seriousness of purpose and is a cloak of compassion. Today, whenever you see the media depicting the medical profession, the most common accessory adorning physicians is the white coat. In 1993, the Arnold P. Gold Foundation and the physicians at the Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons in New York initiated the first white coat ceremony, which has since been adopted by many medical schools in the U.S. and abroad. The ceremony was designed to welcome entering medical students and help them establish a psychological contract for the practice of medicine. The Arnold P. Gold Foundation works with healthcare professionals in training and in practice to instill the values of compassionate, collaborative, scientifically sound caregiving right at the start of training. A lapel pin with the Foundation's logo, the Mobius loop, has been placed on the white coats that the class of 2021 will be cloaked with today. This logo symbolizes the continuous bond of trust, respect, and clear communication between healthcare professionals and their patients, which occurs when humanism is at the core of medical practice. The white coat, as one of medicine's most important symbols, signifies that, in the words of Dr. Gold, a physician's responsibility is not only to take care of patients, but also to care for patients. To offer greetings from the WMed student body, I'd like to introduce Kylie Miller, President of the WMed class of 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Zemkowski. Good afternoon, class of 2021, and to all of their friends, family, and loved ones here today. I am so excited for you on this massive milestone of a day. I know how hard you've worked to get here, so congratulations. You are officially on your way. It's only been a year since I was in the exact spot that you're sitting, but let me tell you, the number of crazy, amazing, exciting things that I have gotten to see, do, and be a part of in the last year has made it feel like 10 years, and at the same time feels like it's passed in the blink of an eye. So whenever I think about my experience in medical school, and I talk to my friends and my family about it, I tend to get really, really excited and also really sappy, because honestly, I absolutely loved my first year of medical school, and that usually gets me some funny looks, but it's true. So when I was deciding what I would say to you all today, I decided to go the analogy route in the hopes that I'm slightly less full of cliches, but no promises. So here it goes. Medical school isn't like a race that you can win all by yourself. I know some people say it's a marathon, not a sprint, but I don't even really think of it like a marathon. It's more like trying to scale a 100-foot wall without any handholds, or ropes, or water. But the only way that you can make it to the top is to do it with the help of the people sitting next to you now, by standing on one another's shoulders and trusting that the person beneath you won't let you fall, and that the person above you will always turn around and offer you a hand up. And in that way, not only do you make it to the top, but so can every single one of you. But even still, you're not left to this wall alone. Your professors will be a guiding voice from the top of the wall, trying to give you advice on strategies for moving up and pitfalls to avoid. And yeah, you may want to throw a metaphorical rock or six every now and again, but I promise you, their sole purpose here is helping us to become the best physicians that we can. And while the content and material can be lengthy or dense, they've really got your best interests at heart. And on top of that, they're phenomenally wonderful, brilliant people. Plus, you've got 3 other classes of students currently climbing next to you, and we're more than happy to offer a helping hand or an extra shoulder to cry on if you really need a rest or really just want to have a good cry. But just in case you were starting to think that you had too many people trying to help you, don't forget about all of the people in the audience right now, or the ones at home because they couldn't be here today. All of your friends, family, loved ones, these people have been the support system that has gotten you through every challenge, every accomplishment, every failure and success that has gotten you here today. So if you would, I'd like you to stand now and give them a round of applause. Thank you. You guys can sit back down. Thank you for that. Now I'd like you to take a look and share a smile with the people in front of and behind you, to your left and to your right, because these people will become some of the best friends that you'll have in life. Medical school will bind you to one another, whether you like it or not, in a way that is completely unique to any bond you've ever formed before or likely ever will again. Trust each other, help one another, and most importantly, ask for and accept help from one another. Because asking for help doesn't make you weak or less competent, it makes you better. My best advice to you is to grab onto every second that you get to experience these next 4 years. Be fully present in the moment, live it, breathe it, love it. Because everything that you're a part of is something that you can learn from. It's something that will make you a better doctor, a better person, or both. So congratulations on receiving your white coat today. You've earned it, you deserve it, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. I want you to hold on to that, and remember it if you ever start to feel the doubt creeping in. WMed is truly a special place. We are a community, a culture, a family. And so on behalf of the student body, welcome home. We are so excited to see the amazing physicians that we know you will become over the next 4 years. It's my honor to introduce Dr. Hal Jensen, founding dean of Western Michigan University, Homer Stryker M.D. School of Medicine.
Thank you and welcome. The White Coat ceremony is a special rite of passage for new students as they enter medical school. Today we present you, members of the class of 2021, with your white coat. For your clinical activities, you will be expected to wear your white coat as part of your professional attire. Appropriately, wearing the white coat is not only an expectation, but it's a privilege. As you recite the class of 2021 medical student oath, which you of a class has composed, remember the words that you pledged today before each other, the faculty, your family, and friends. Today's ceremony is more than a ritual. You are pledging to follow the oath that you recite today during your career as a physician. Your role as a physician is beginning as you learn the science of medicine and begin to practice the art of patient care. A physician must care as well as cure. As a physician, you are obligated to demonstrate excellence in the mastery of scientific knowledge, compassionate care, and to embody integrity, professionalism, and lifelong learning. Our medical school faculty of more than 700 clinicians, educators, and researchers will educate, advise, counsel, mentor, coach, and support you during your journey through medical school. Today, we officially welcome you into the medical community. You will be presented with your white coat by your Learning Community Scholar Advisor. For background for our guests, our medical school is organized into 4 learning communities with a number of learning scholar advisors. The scholar advisors serve an important role in teaching clinical skills to our medical students and also mentoring each medical student. And the learning communities really provide an opportunity for strengthening professional and social interactions between and among the classes. Students, recognize that when a scholar advisor cloaks you today with your white coat and welcomes you to the medical community, that we have the confidence, they represent all the faculty who have confidence that you will become a dedicated physician, true to your oath, and a credit to the profession. It's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker today, Dr. Keith Kenter. Dr. Kenter is professor and chair of our Department of Orthopedic Surgery at the medical school. Before coming to Kalamazoo in 2015, he served as vice chair at the University of Cincinnati Department of Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine. He also had secondary appointments in the Division of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation in the Department of Neurology, and also in the Department of Biomedical Engineering in the School of Engineering in Cincinnati. He has been very active. His medical career began at the University of Missouri-Columbia. He completed his orthopedic residency at Duke University Medical Center and a sports medicine fellowship at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York City. Clinically, his interests revolve around shoulder reconstruction, and he has been also very active in the care of professional, collegiate, high school, and recreational athletes. His research interests are in the science of basic soft tissue healing and the incorporation of tendons and muscles in the healing process. He served on several national committees for the American Orthopedic Society of Sports Medicine, the American Orthopedic Society, the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, the American Shoulder and Elbow Surgeons, Mid-American Orthopedic Association, and the American Board of Orthopedic Surgery. He was the first chair of the Council of Orthopedic Resident Directors and immediate past chair of the Emerging Leaders Forum within the American Orthopedic Association. He's been involved in teaching medical students and residents and has received award from residents and the dean at the University of Missouri, and also at the University of Cincinnati. He's been recognized by his peers as a top doc for several consecutive years. He's recently been recognized as one of the top 28 shoulder surgeons in the United States. He's been the team orthopedic surgeon for the Cincinnati Mighty Ducks, which is an AHL affiliate of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and also team physician for University of Cincinnati, University of Missouri, New York Giants Football Club during his fellowship, and has been involved with many high school and local athletic teams. He and his wife, Patty, have 3 children. He enjoys traveling, international cooking, and playing ice hockey. Since joining the medical school, he's been very active in supporting, teaching, mentoring medical students here at the medical school. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Keith Kitter.
Thanks, Al. You were going to cut that down. Introductions are always kind of nervous, so I've got now 2 minutes to give my presentations. Thanks a lot, Hal. So thank you very much, Dean Jensen, Dr. Zemkowski, staff, guests, parents, medical students. I want to thank Gene Shelton. So when Gene approached me to give this lecture, the first words out of my mouth were, I have to think about that. And the reason is, it's because of the faculty. You know, I look out in the audience and the folks sitting on this front row. There are clearly a lot of individuals that could orate this presentation probably with more vigor than I could. So I do speak for all of them, and I hope they're kind in their evaluation of me after this presentation. And Kylie, you should probably be up here because the message was beautifully given. So you're going to hear a lot of redundancy, and as I tell my residents, the key to learning is repetition, right? So you're going to hear a lot of the same things. So again, thank those that are sitting to the side and behind you, because they got you here, and as you look forward into your future, you'll be thanking us. So make no mistake, everyone in this room is really here for you, right? That's what we're here for. So I was at a holiday party, a recent holiday party, and I heard a couple talking about their child that just got accepted in medical school, and they were boasting, and Betty and Jim were all fired up with their student, and they got out their phones and they were showing their Facebook pictures. And the couple to whom they were speaking had their son had just graduated from their MBA and secured a Fortune 500 company position in New York City. And the first thing that came out of that mouth was, "Is your child crazy?" And I stood back. I almost interrupted them. But they made a strong argument. And the argument they made, as I continued to eavesdrop, was pretty valid, right? Look at us today. The Affordable Care Act, right? It has probably divided our country. We are struggling to figure this out, right? The CMS, the Center for Medicaid and Medicare, have mandated restrictions, have mandated how we're reimbursed, had mandated bundled payments, and there's not one practicing physician on that committee. Interesting. We lead the country, or we lead the world rather, in healthcare dollars spent, and yet we consume more healthcare dollars with chronic disease states and obesity than anybody else in the world. Opioid and narcotic addiction is a crisis right now in the United States, and some would argue that the physician is the one to blame. Right? Yelp scores, Press Ganey, are driving physicians to become commodities. And I had an MA tell you, well, Dr. Kenner, you're no different than a fast food restaurant. Right? Yes, so medicine is hard. I was thinking about this, and are we crazy? Medicine is hard today. There is no question, right? But some would argue medical school is even harder. So is it, right? Is med school really that difficult? Yes, it is. So why? Callie's already used cliches. I'm going to use more cliches. If it was easy, everyone would do it, right? Yeah, med school is hard. Most of you that know me, the students in the room, and certainly the interest group, we know what the definition of an orthopedic surgeon is, right? Strong as an ox and twice as smart. So if an orthopedic surgeon can get through med school, I would submit you guys can get through med school as well. So you're going to be okay. So why? Why is it so difficult, or this perception that it's so difficult? Some would argue it's the volume. We have so much knowledge that we have to learn, right? Others would argue it's the pace. You got a day to understand the entire anatomy of the upper extremity. Others may argue it's just the competition. You're sitting next to one of your students who are gunning to get honors in that class, right? When I was a med student, we used to call them gunners. Yeah, I was probably a gunner. So we called them gunners. I don't know if that's the still term name, and now you're not the smartest one in your class, right? So others would even, and as Kaylee even has argued, the endless journey, right? It's a marathon, this endless journey. I've been up all night, and yet tomorrow I have another examination, and I've got to cram through this next block to be ready to go. So let's put this in perspective, right? So I'm going to use a highly motivational speech. It was by one of our past country's presidents. And as I listen to the speech, I'm going to quote it, and you're going to understand. But in my opinion, I think what he was talking about was challenges and how to make difficult decisions. So not too long ago, right, 1962, September 12th, 1962, President Kennedy delivered a speech to a crowd of about 35,000 individuals. It's in Rice University. It's in the football stadium. And he's talking about if we choose to go to the moon in this decade and do other things, not because they are easy. It's because they are hard. Because the goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because the challenge is one that we are willing to accept and we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. Yes, this is what it's about. It's all about winning, right? Don't forget, a failed grade does not mean you failed. You have to understand how to strategize to self-improve. You have to learn everything because it's not about you anymore. It's about learning for the patient. It's going to be hard. This is your duty. You're going to learn how to become a selfless leader, right? That's what you're doing. You're making it patient-centric, and you're learning how to be a selfless leader. And it's going to be hard, right? It will. It will be difficult. It's really going to be difficult to take this message when you're trying to understand the Krebs cycle. Have you done that yet? Yeah, right. So you know what I'm talking about. The innervation of the brachialis muscle, that's a good one. Or the mechanism of action of the antibiotic ciprofloxacin, right? By the way, it works on DNA gyrase of the bacteria, so if you need to know that. So Brenda Cervanich, who's an associate professor of medicine and community and family medicine at Dartmouth, when asked about the desired outcome of a medical student, her response is, it's beautiful. It's very simple, but it's very thoughtful and meaning. And she goes on to say, and quote, the desired outcome should not be about test scores. We should hope students will have learned how to find, evaluate, and apply knowledge, how to work collaboratively. Kylie's kind of alluded to that. How to tolerate and manage uncertainty, how to reason, how to walk in someone else's shoes, how to relentlessly pursue what's best for each patient, how to debate, how to learn how to be wrong, how to fail, right? And embrace all of this and learn from it each and every time. It's a beautiful, thoughtful, but very simple way of looking at things, right? So again, remember, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And my partner beautifully says, there's no finish line. He's absolutely right. So what? Who cares? What do you guys get out of it? What's in it for me, right? Well, here's what's in it for you. You're going to laugh with your patients, and yet you're going to cry with your patients. You're going to bring life into the world, and you're going to ask to take life away. You'll rejoice with your patients, and yet you're going to be very frustrated with them in some of the decisions they make. You're going to learn about your patients, you're going to learn about their families, and yet you're going to be happy to see them that they want a second opinion, and you'll never see them again. You'll sometimes be a hero for your patient, and sometimes you'll be the goat. It's all your fault. And I've experienced all of these. That's what makes it difficult, right? It's an emotional roller coaster. And as you continue to experience this emotional roller coaster, you'll be pulled away. And for me, medicine has been a mistress. It has pulled me away sometimes from my family, and it's disrupted my the balance in my life. So if we listen to Brian Dyson, who's the former CEO of Coca-Cola, he explains life in 30 seconds, right? So imagine you're in a game in which you're juggling 5 balls. And you decide to name these balls work, family, health, friends, and spirit. You keep juggling these balls in the air, and then you soon understand that the ball you've named work is made out of rubber. All the other balls in your hand are made out of glass. If you drop the rubber ball, it's going to bounce right back up to you. However, if you drop one of the glass balls, they're going to be nicked, they're going to be scuffed, they're going to even sometimes shatter. So you have to understand that. You have to maintain balance in your life. Your spirit, your friends, your health, you cannot change that. So keep that balance. I think your generation does a lot better job than my generation in life balance, certainly if I look at my children. So remember, use this education that we're about to give you and use it for your life and not just for living. So I want to come around the microphone because I want to address the students. So I've got some recommendations for you. And I thought as I was putting this together, we could talk about simple things, right? So things like drink upstream from the herd, right? If anybody lives on a farm, you know what I'm talking about, right? Don't look straight up at a bird, right? You get bucked off, what are you supposed to do? Get back on, right? And finally, don't squat with your spurs on, right? So if anybody knows Riders in the Sky, you know what I'm talking about. So, but I have some notes. And the second thing you're going to learn is not about the white coat, but the white coat pocket. That's another ceremony if you want, right? So, have emotional intelligence, right? Walt Gianelli, Matt Ryberg. What's Kenner talking about, right? These are 2 of my best friends in med school. Walt Gianelli is an emergency room physician in the D.C. area. Matt Ryberg is an internal medicine doctor on the Navajo Reservation. I learned so much from my peers, right? You're going to compete with your peers, right? You will. There's no question. Competition brings out the best of us. It breaks down collaboration. And if we don't collaborate, it ruins patient care. Have emotional intelligence. Number 1. Number 2, learn how to communicate, right? Not just verbally, but in today's world, electronically. I could probably take some lessons on how to write electronically. But learn how to communicate, right? Part of communication is what? Is also listening. Learn how to listen. I think we have to learn how to listen. Have integrity, right? This one's easy. Have integrity. Always do the right thing. Even if the road's harder, the decision is more challenging, you want to always do the right thing. Your pillow is your conscience. You can make it soft or you can make it hard, right? Either way, your head's got to lie on it. So for me, I want to have a soft pillow. Maintain an altruistic attitude, right? Treat people how you want to be treated. You don't need to go to med school to learn that. Your parents taught you that. But don't forget it. Be critical in your thinking. I would submit that most of us go to med school because we're analytical thinkers. We just know how to think. There's also a part of medicine that is not analytical, and that's the art of medicine. That has nothing to do with science, that has nothing to do with biology. So learn how to empathize and understand that art of medicine. Be thoughtful in how you care for your patients, right? There's also a component of analytical thinking, in my opinion, that's called reflection. You should take time each day and reflect and try to think how I can be better or how could I handle that better. So reflect. All right? That's going to make you better. It's going to make your community better. It's probably going to provide better care for your patients. And then lastly, as my white coater from last year commented on, have fun doing it. Right? These are the best times of your life. Have fun. We forget that. So I just want to share that with you guys, hence the phone mic on my head here. So I just want to kind of close and then ask you now, are you really crazy? Are you crazy for doing this after what we just talked about? So I recall the Martian Mark Watney. And he was asked about his emotional state when he was stranded and left behind on Mars. And his comment gave me goosebumps, right? I can go outside and look at the vast horizons because I can. So let's say that again. I can go outside and look at the vast horizons because I can. So how could anyone say that you're crazy when we look at medicine? The horizons in medicine are endless. They're vast. And it's going to help you grow. It's going to help you develop these things. You're going to have a positive impact for your patients. You're going to have a positive impact for your community. And you're going to make it a better place for your community to live. I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't change any road or decision that I made, and I would do it all again. Well, maybe not physical chemistry. Probably wouldn't do that again. So, I speak for all the faculty at our medical school. We're really looking forward to helping you grow. We're looking for you to help you mature, develop into a physician. And I hope, for speaking for all the faculty at our medical school, I can confidently say we wish you the very best of luck and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Kenter. Before we begin the presentation of White Coats, I'd like to acknowledge the White Coat sponsors. The White Coat Sponsorship Program is an opportunity to engage a community as we welcome our new medical students and they embark on the path to becoming a physician. A White Coat sponsor provided a financial contribution that funded a white coat, stethoscope, tuning forks, reflex hammer, and a set of scrubs for each student. In addition, each sponsor wrote a note of encouragement for their student, and that note has been placed in the pocket of each student's white coat. Earlier this week, students had the opportunity to meet their White Coat sponsor. Thank you to our White Coat sponsors for your support and commitment to our medical students. So if you're here, I'd like to just give you a round of applause. We will now begin the cloaking ceremony. Our announcer will introduce the Learning Community Scholar Advisor, who will perform the cloaking, and each student will be introduced as they enter the stage. You are welcome to applaud and cheer, but thank you for allowing the announcer to announce each student's name between your applause.
Learning Community, Virginia Apgar, M.D. Scholar Advisor, Dr. Carrie Sanborn. Nicole Ahmed. Rohit Badam. Alexis Jones. Anoop Katadia. Ariana Leather. Lucas Rich. Bill Wames. Kevin Ching. Rashini Hire Retna. Philip Key. Natasha Trainer. Keshav Patel. Haley St. Louis. Katie Jones. Albert Chen. Ben Coors. Jalen Zoe. Donghoon Lee. Anna Trin. Marie Theismann. And Josh White. Learning Community, Elizabeth Blackwell, M.D. Scholar Advisor, Dr. Sandra Hold, excuse me. Bilal Asi. Abigail Cheng. Jesse Chow. Kamil Swickla. Danny Gomez. Caitlin King. Ryan Maziars. Makela Newakanton. Alex Paschke. Kitty Quintanilla. Christina Beyer Spencer. Monica Ellis. Scholar Advisor, Dr. Diane Pierce. Monica Ellis. Zainub Mahmood. Jacob Morton. Jay Patel. Jasmine Sadian. Emma Swayze. Stephanie Sesniak. Claire Tanager. Taylor Tribbett. And Cameron Werner. Learning Community, Harvey Cushing, M.D. Scholar Advisor, Dr. Bob Satanik. Michael Abergy. Fatima Gandor. Arlene Ho. Andy Jan. Ryan Khalil. Juliana Lautenschlager. Sean Manowar. Yuri Kim. Ukachi Wachaku. Paya Saraf. Lauren Strukowski. Christine Trenvu. Lucy Wan. Aaron Zabalski. Zach Cowan. Anmol Hans. Terrence Lee. Kelsey Miller. Josh Rarick. Brenda Riali. and Daniel Walters. Learning Community, Charles Drew, M.D. Scholar Advisor, Dr. Ross Driscoll. Maureen Boyer. Jinju Kim. Shiv Patel. Nathan Sklar. Christine Stevens. Lo Timburo. Aaron Than. Scholar Advisor, Dr. Theo Gomes. Pooja Avula. Natasia Drozdik. Alicia Hernandez. Seth Moffett. Trong Nguyen. Joaquin Peralta. Thank you. Tyler Ulrich. Scholar Advisor, Dr. Brandy Shattuck. Amina Ahmed. Jacob Baxter. John Chinchen. Rachel Gullimore. Adil Khan. Patrick Lacreche. And Jessica Sasek.
I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Cheryl Dixon, Associate Dean for Health Equity and Community Affairs.
Thank you, Dr. Zemkowski. As he mentioned earlier, in addition to the white coat, the oath of Hippocrates is a symbol of the medical profession. It is the most widely known of Greek medical texts. It requires a new physician to swear upon the healing gods that he or she will uphold the professional ethical standards. Over the centuries, it's been rewritten, often in order to suit the values of different cultures. A medical oath declares the ethos of medicine. An oath includes solemn promises that identify the covenant that exists between physicians and their patients. I had the opportunity, in conjunction with Drs. Michael Riedinger and Dr. Tyler Gibb, to work with the students to compose the class of 2021 medical student oath that will be recited today. The composition of the class oath has been a student learning project that enables the students to work within their learning communities together. I would like to, at this time, acknowledge the work of the student reps from each of those learning communities for their leadership and teamwork in putting together the oath of their class. They are Jessica Sasek, if she could stand. Dunhoon Lee, Christina Byers, Sean Manowar, Seth Moffett, and Natasha Trainer. The entire class was involved in finalizing and approving the oath content. Creation of their own class oath enabled the students to reflect on the principles that they feel are important to embrace as medical professionals going forward. You will find a copy of the oath included in today's program. At this time, I'm going to ask the class of 2021 students to stand. The class of 2021, please recite your oath.
In recognition of the honor and privilege of being a member of the Western Michigan University Homer Stryker M.D. School of Medicine, class of 2021, I devote myself to the practice of medicine and solemnly swear the following oath. I pledge to adhere to and abide by a standard worthy of my peers, the school, the community, and the medical profession. I pledge to respect patient autonomy and to collaborate in creating patient-centered humanistic care. I pledge to uphold the bonds of trust between myself and my patient. I pledge to educate and empower patients to be advocates of their own health. I pledge to advance the frontiers of medical knowledge with the goal of continuous improvement of patient care. I pledge to resist the vices of arrogance, apathy, and avarice. I shall do no harm. I pledge to demonstrate humility by recognizing my own limitations and to look to my interprofessional team for guidance. I pledge to serve all patients and be vigilant in the service of those who are most vulnerable. I pledge to establish and maintain an inclusive environment that welcomes individuals of all communities and identities. I pledge to extend my advocacy beyond the clinic to the community as a whole, with deference to the privilege our position affords. I pledge to devote myself to the alleviation of human suffering. Above all, I commit to a life of service. We pledge this oath individually and collectively.
It is my honor to present to you the WMed class of 2021.
Once again, thank you for joining us for the WMed Class of 2021 White Coat Ceremony. We'd like to thank the Arnold P. Gold Foundation for the Humanism in Medicine pins affixed to each white coat. Thank you all for coming today, and please join us at the WE Upjohn campus for reception. Directions can be found in your program. Members of the Class of 2021 will be taking class photos and will join you shortly. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. We ask our guests to exit the auditorium at this time. Students will join you soon for the reception and photos.